Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Thursday afternoon, and we are attempting to have revolutionary change in the afternoon. So I am Jen Perelman.
I'm Peter Hager, and we'll see how it goes because we are going up against our friends over at Due Dissonance, and we'll see how this ultimately shakes out. But, for a while...
But our guest canceled. So the reason that we decided to do this today was for somebody that is not going to be here.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Yeah, well, no, that's exactly how things go. Now, we're going to start with you. Okay, I don't know who you are. Okay. Dolly sold out to nobody ever. The fact that she did what she did and you don't agree with it is a completely separate issue. That's what she thought was best. Dolly sold out to nobody ever. And
Mr. Vieira, I want to make one thing very clear to you, as I know that there's a lot of, people who appreciate some of my commentary regarding certain topics. I want to be very clear about this. I don't give a flying fuck if somebody says take the shot. There is a complete fundamental difference between somebody who says take the shot or you should take the shot versus you will take the shot and you don't have a choice. Dolly Parton never did such a thing, and most people did not do such a thing, but the powers that be did do such a thing. So let's be very nuanced about this issue, because it's an issue where Jen and I both ended up taking the vaccine, but never told anybody that they should do it. That is 1000% their decision, and that's the way it should always be. That's libertarianism. Individual liberty. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't, don't. But do not tell anybody that they have to. Making a suggestion is a completely different situation. So that's my piece.
We'll see how this plays out. There will be no bad talking Dolly.
Yeah, no bad talking Dolly. In fact, the only people who actually do bad talk Dolly are people that we talk about quite a bit. I know this is going to be hard for you, and I know this is going to be different. Yeah, Tony, we've only been saying it for about a week. I wish people would listen. We said we were going to make a switch. So this is our switch. We're going to try the afternoon. The primary reason that we're trying the afternoon is the fact that we do communicate with a lot of people overseas, especially people in Europe, especially people in Asia. And if we're going to have them as guests on this show, we cannot have them on when it's the middle of the night where they are. Jen wants to get back to the original format of the show, which is long form interview. And if we're going to have more of those types of interviews, the only way that's going to happen is if we do make an adjustment. To me, This is an adjustment that makes sense. Today is also a very somber day, a very sad day. Yeah, all right, Jen, look, right there. We've got one so far. We got a thumbs up. I like the one spot. Okay, great. So at least we got somebody. And yes, millions upon millions of people around the world feel the same way. Jen, as long as I've known you, I know that Dolly Parton was your hero. This is the person above all others. You had basically, I guess, 3 people that really stood out to you. I would say that of all the people that I've known.
No, Dylan Ratigan doesn't have Wi-Fi for some reason, so he's not here.
He'll be rescheduling with us.
Try to get through this.
Yeah.
Who are my 3 people? Well, no, I have 5. I've had 5 people, and she was the last one that was alive. And
well, as long as I've known you, the people that have always stood out in terms of the impact that you told me they meant in your life was Thurgood Marshall, Christopher Hitchens, and Dolly Parton.
No, it's Frida.
Well, Frida Kahlo, yes, that's true.
But it's also contemporary was Mr. Rogers and Dolly Parton. Those were my 5 people.
Yeah.
I am not okay. And I know that I'm a person of science and reason, and I knew that she was older, and I knew it was going to happen. But it's like the whole world just lost its fairy godmother. And I have some positive things to say about it, but I am just so incredibly sad. So it is what it is.
You pick which one you want to start with.
The
mural?
First, No, the one, where's her interview on Carson? No, I guess that should be the last thing that we show. Whichever one. Is the mural one? Yeah, we could show that one.
Dolly Parton died today. And all over the internet, you're going to be seeing people telling you that she was loved by absolutely everybody. But what they're not going to tell you is why. And I think it's because the reason why may actually ruin the story that you've been telling yourself. I think a lot of us tell ourselves that in order to be loved by everybody, we can't stand for anything. Well, Dolly Parton's life will prove to you that that's a lie. 4 months ago, UMass and Lau did a study where they polled the entire country. It was a simple score. How many people like you versus how many people don't? President Obama, plus 14. Taylor Swift, plus 3. Trump, minus 18. Biden, minus 19. The Queen herself, plus 65. Nobody else was even close. She didn't get there by being a rhinestone Switzerland. She wasn't neutral. Neutral is easy. Neutral is quiet. Dolly Parton was not quiet. 2018, a 30-year-old dinner show called the Dixie Stampede. Somebody let Dolly know that Dixie is offensive to a lot of people. Guess what she doesn't do? She doesn't call it cancel culture. She doesn't go on a press tour. She simply changes the name. And let me tell you exactly what she said. There's such thing as innocent ignorance, as so many of us are guilty of that. As soon as you realize it's a problem, you should fix it. And then came 2020, the loudest summer many of us can remember. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Do we think our little white asses are the only ones that matter? How does a 74-year-old country music legend say the sentence that's painted above her to a country music crowd in Sevier County in 2020 and not lose a single person? And I think I know why. She'd been mailing their kids books for 25 years for free, every single month. It didn't matter who you voted for. It didn't matter what church you went to or if you went to church at all. So by the time she said the hard thing, she had 25 years of proof that she loved them. And that's
Just take a moment to appreciate what I believe will be her greatest legacy and will probably grow exponentially as a result. For those who don't know, Dolly Parton grew up in the Dixie South at a time when, if there is an underrated...
No, she grew up in Appalachia, not the DC.
Well, Appalachia, yeah, that's true. That's true. Tennessee is Appalachia. I should be more specific. But if there is a truly underrated aspect of FDR's legacy, it's that the public works program that he started during his first term, you want to talk about a part of the United States that didn't have indoor plumbing, that didn't have electricity, that didn't have clean water, that didn't have access to the best food. Dolly Parton grew up in that environment. She had nothing. I mean, she truly came from as piss poor of an upbringing as you could possibly have. And you know that in many cases that can harbor a lot of resentment and anger because of those hardships. She ended up becoming an even greater saint among people because of the fact that she understands that struggle as well as anybody ever did. Which is why, like you said, she was the richest woman you ever knew, and it had nothing to do with her money.
the part we skip. We want to say the true thing to somebody on a Tuesday that we've never done a single thing for, and then we're shocked when it doesn't land. You see, everybody wants to be loved like Dolly, but nobody wants to do what Dolly did, because what she did is harder than picking a side. What she did is harder than picking no side. You see, what she did is she told the truth, and then she left the door open. And if there's one thing I've learned from Dolly Parton, is that you don't have to be quiet to be kind.
I thought that was sweet. And,
It was. That's a beautiful
yeah.
mural too. Is that in,
Yeah.
where is that, in Nashville?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's near or around that neighborhood that she donated all the money to from Whitney Houston, from the royalties from Whitney's version of the song. Dolly donated or took the $10 million and put it into an underserved Black neighborhood in Nashville and revitalized it and called it the house that Whitney built. So yes, Dolly did also speak up for Cat Stevens when others treated him. Yes. All right, you know what? For the people that are going on about the vax thing in there about her, please see yourselves out for about the next 10 minutes. Feel free to come back, but really, it's just not okay with me right now. Please, please. It's just, you're just being mean and spiteful.
Yeah.
Seriously, we hear
You guys
you.
need
You had it.
to,
Move on.
Jen, let me handle this, please. I'm going to reiterate this point again. There is nothing wrong with somebody telling you that you should take the vax versus somebody who tells you you will take the vax.
It's irrelevant. It's one fucking thing in a life that has given more to anybody than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life, ever. So for you to sit there and pick out like things that you don't agree with and start telling me that she's eating babies and she just shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. Okay, because the rest of the world doesn't see that. So take your crazy elsewhere.
Her impact is something that I don't think people truly understood, but they'll understand it a lot more now because more and more stories are going to come out about her impact.
Oh, I've been watching them for the past day. That's what I've been doing. Yeah. People coming forward with individual stories, individual videos, people that worked for Dollywood, people that met her 50 years ago, people that knew. I have yet to hear a single person say one thing that was not kind about how she was, like ever. So when I see people talking shit in the chat, it's infuriating to me. Do not.
Well, you know, the sidebar here is that she was as Christ-like as anybody that you could ever think of. And the fact of the matter is, so many people who claim to be followers of Christ are doing it almost in the complete opposite. They do it in the antithesis of everything that Christ stood for. She was the embodiment of grace, love, and kindness. And she did this for 60 years. She did this for over 2 generations.
That's because the Black community fucks with Dolly. They do. Because they know.
Yeah, they know who the real ones are. And again, I made fun of Dolly, but in a playful way. You know, she made fun of herself.
Makes fun of Dolly in a playful way. That's what makes her so for me, and I've taken a lot out of this for the past few days because I've been like alternating, like just laughing and crying about stuff. But I wanted to sort of see what's the opportunity here, right? Like, what's the opportunity? And this is a moment, I will tell you, if you look at around the world, the fact that Buckingham Palace played 9 to 5 at the changing of the guard yesterday.
Yeah.
This is somebody who was born dirt poor from nothing and has affected the entire world in a way that there are people all over the world that are sad at the exact same time. And so what does that do? So I'm scrolling through all this stuff on Instagram and I am following and liking and sharing and promoting and like trying to spread as many of the other content creators because this is how we build the web and this is her legacy. That's her legacy, is connecting everybody together. I mean, yes, the reading and the library and those, the things that she invested in financially, yeah, but I'm talking about just her mere existence on this planet with all of us simultaneously is that's the legacy. That so many people across so many different walks of life can feel so connected to this same person. And yes, that is the most Christ-like consciousness person I've ever seen. Now, I've seen Dolly live and I have pictures of it and I'm not going to upload them because they're not the best pictures, but I always said she glows. She glows, and it's not the lighting and it's not what she wears. She glowed. And if you read what people are saying who came into contact with her in person, they say the same thing. So there was an energy about her that was incredibly special. So now we have an opportunity. She was the best of us. So we have an opportunity to now see what we could take from that. And one of the things that she was always big about was always leaving the door open behind her and helping everybody else up. And in that vein, I found a couple of creators, musicians. Now, anybody who I saw over the past day that was singing a Dolly song or doing anything, you got followed, liked, and shared. But the people that wrote songs specifically about Dolly, there's 2 songwriters that I wanted to just platform just because. And so I have 2 different.
I'm going to pull it up. H2, listen, I'm going to make a statement at the end about what you're talking about. We're not going to address it right now. So we'll get to the issue that people are going to want to have an answer on, but there's a reason.
What is he asking?
About Palestine. It goes back. This goes back over 30 years. So I'll explain at the
end. About Dolly?
So I'll explain at the end. Just hang in there. So the first one is this young lady. I don't know her name.
Wait, which one? Because I want to forward people to these people. The first one was a contestant. Okay, the brunette. I don't know who she is, guys, but we're gonna share her information. I just got to find it. Actually, normally Colin takes the stuff and puts it in the description, but sure. I don't know.
Load it up.
If we can do that.
Load it up.
You can.
Okay.
Bury me in cotton, sands the wig and the heels. I like to be remembered for what I say and who I heal. I don't need the diamonds, the rhinestones always do. But nothing, I'll know, nothing will ever shine as bright as you. Dolly, oh Dolly, there's no getting over you. Dolly, oh Dolly, you know I will always love you.
I just thought that was sweet. The other one is somebody who actually has a name. She was on one of the shows, like The Voice one season or something. She's from one of the shows, and so she actually has like a platform, but she wrote a song about Dolly before, and she finished it and just put it out, but it had been written before all this. But meanwhile, before we start that, Ben, the thing that I had asked you to clip, which was the Johnny Carson interview, I don't see that up here.
Okay, I'll get it.
Okay.
So
put the other singer-songwriter, and her name is you see the other one?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
My grandma Kennedy has always said this. She says, Corey, the day God made Dolly, the poor sucker in line after her got nothing because God gave everything and all the talent in the world to Dolly Parton. And that's what this song's about, and it's called The Day God Made Dolly. Way up above the clouds where the good Lord stays, there's a workshop in the sky with the angels working every day. Hammers swinging, everybody singing Amazing Grace. When a ticket came through the door, stopping everybody in their place. The big man upstairs picked the ticket up and said, well, I'll be. This one's for a little girl from the hills of Tennessee. Something deep down in his bones told him he should take his time. There was something about this little girl from the Tennessee hillside. The day God made Dolly, he was working in his workshop nonstop. Took his sweet time while stirring the pot. Used a whole lot of country and a little bit of rock and roll. He made a voice full of fire and a heart of gold. Poured a little bit of magic right into her soul. Gave her dreams so big he was breaking the mold. The day God made Dolly, the next ticket came along. He reached for the good stuff on the shelf, turned it over once or twice, and he started laughing to himself. This poor fella next in line got nothing but sympathy. must have used the whole damn jar on the girl from Tennessee. The day God made Dolly, he was working in his workshop non-stop. Took his sweet time while stirring the pot. Used a whole lot of country and a little bit of rock and roll. And made a voice full of fire and a heart of gold. Poured a little bit of magic right into her soul. Gave her dreams so big he was breaking the mold. The day God made Dolly, he made one for the ages. But deep down he always knew this world would be a much better place once he sent her passing through. The day God made Dolly, he was working in his workshop non-stop. Took his sweet time while stirring the pot. Used a whole lot of country and a little bit of rock and roll. And made a voice full of fire and a heart of gold. Poured a little bit of magic right into her soul. Gave her dreams so big he was breaking the mold. The day God made Dolly.
I think you're right. Dolly would love that. Dolly loved everybody singing her songs, all songs. She was just, and so what was cool about that song is it acknowledged the rock and roll thing, which is funny because a few years back, they wanted to induct Dolly into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And she actually declined it at first. She's like, well, I don't sing rock and roll. Like, I don't deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then people like kept honor and honor and honor. It was this whole thing. And so she accepted it. And then this was a song, I think it was around that time where she said she can rock. And I know she also got together with Motley Crue at some point in the past too. But so this is the Dolly rocking out, and then we'll end with that interview, which is yeah.
And you thought I could rock.
How cute is she? Seriously. So yeah, it's still a little country. That's true. But at the end of the day,
Heartland rock.
And Elvis was country and blues together. That's the whole basis of it. But yeah, yes, this. Somebody like a Jeff Bezos, when they die, nobody gives a shit. If anything, people will be happy and making fun. Right. Yeah. Like nobody gives a shit.
When all of the Waltons die, nobody
cares.
People will be celebrating.
Yeah, nobody cares. So yeah, she did. She chose to not pursue more and more and more money. She did. Right. She chose that. That was not her priority.
There's a difference between, and Dolly is being celebrated right now, but that's because of her life. And she'll be celebrated for generations.
Exactly. Queer Black socialista, that makes you double like her, right? I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right. So guys, the last thing I want to share, which is really, is a clip from her appearance. Now, she was on the Johnny Carson show. She loved Johnny Carson and she loved going on the Johnny Carson show. And if you have any opportunity to ever watch any of her times, any of them on the Carson show, she's hilarious. Like she's ridiculous. She's everybody cracking up. But this was one of her early ones. This is in, I want to say 77. Yeah. And I think this might be her first time on. No, maybe it's either her first or second. Anyway, this clip was very profound. So I want you guys to just see this. I think it's important. Time. All right. Now I got to look and see what time I had wanted it clipped from. This was the whole point. This was the whole friggin' point.
Oh, are you getting upset, Jen?
I'm not. It's just not. I just want to be someone that everybody loves and someone who loves everybody else. I would say mission friggin' accomplished. That's what I would say. So that was it. That was just her saying that was very prophetic to me.
For people that are obviously sad and despondent, and obviously it's part of life because you can't live forever, but her legacy will live forever. She carved one that is very unique. She's the queen of country. I mean, that's who she is. She's definitely earned that moniker. And There's a lot you can learn from her. There's a lot you can learn from how she conducted herself. She should be very gratified, as I'm sure she was in her final moments, knowing that there were so many people that would be celebrating her life. And now the question is, how do you honor her life? For me,
well, we have to recreate more of that, right? Like that's what we have to do. So the thing is, and people who know I'm an atheist, most people who follow this know that I don't believe in, and I often throughout my life growing up had found overly preachy people talking, always mentioning God, always mentioning Jesus. I kind of found it annoying. And the only person that was the exception to that for me was Dolly. She was the only person where when she would talk about that, it never bothered me, ever. It never bothered me. Even when she sang it, she sang gospel shit. It never bothered me because, and now I realize why, because she lived it. She wasn't just saying it. She actually lived it. So it wasn't, she lived a Christ conscious life and a non-judgmental life and a tolerant life. And so it's sort of like, that's where I get when I'm an atheist, but I feel like I am a follower of the teachings of Christ. And I feel like that is a lot because of Dolly, and that the idea of faith for me, because of Dolly, is faith in people. And that's very hard to come by right now. So that's what I feel like the message is for me in terms of working on this connection. We have this connection right now. All of these people that feel this loss obviously have the same set of values and the same set of principles that allow us to feel the loss of this person. So now we all need to just be connected to each other and stay that way. Just kind of keep that. And yeah, that's the legacy.
I'm gonna sidebar this now, and I'm gonna tell my side. As I've shared my thoughts, but obviously Dolly meant something to Jen that I could never compete with. And in no way would I even attempt to, because Dolly didn't mean that much to me. I appreciated her, but she was very special to you, Jen. And I know that that's something that we take a lot of solace in. And look, there are people who I would say don't need to say something because their work speaks for themselves. I want you all to understand something, and I'm living proof of this. I have suffered economically in a very substantial way by speaking out against the Zionist state. Dolly Parton attempted to do the same in the early 90s, way before anything went down. 9/11, you could say this was after the first Intifada, so obviously a lot of things were changing at that time. This is from 1994.
This is true too. This is true too. Yes. Continue.
Yeah. And so I got this from a recent friend of the show, Sam Husseini. Dolly Parton apologizes for remarks about Jews by Jewish Telegraph Agency, 1994. From New York, country singer and actress Dolly Parton has apologized for comments she made in an interview with Vogue magazine about Jews in Hollywood. Parton told the magazine during an interview that she had thought about doing a television series about a country singer who turns into a gospel singer. But she said, and I quote, she abandoned the idea because everyone's afraid to touch anything that's religious because most of the people out here in Hollywood are Jewish. And it's a frightening thing for them to promote anything related to Christianity.
She's not wrong. She's not even remotely wrong.
Abraham Foxman, for those of you who don't know, he was the last head of the ADL before the bald-headed jabroni Jonathan Greenblatt. Abe Foxman died in this position as the head of the ADL. And he's also in the documentary Israelism, if you haven't seen that one. See it. You'll get an idea of what a sick fuck he was. Abraham Foxman, the national director of the Anti-Defamation League, wrote her a letter in which he said that her comments invoke the oldest anti-Semitic trope of Jewish stereotypical control over Hollywood and hostility towards Christianity. Foxman added that because she was a celebrity, Parton's comments could have great influence on many Americans. This is 1994, by the way. This is pre-internet age. Parton responded to Foxman's letter apologizing for her remarks. You see, this is as what Jen and Rachel would call a precious blueberry. This is not a person who wants to be involved in this drama bullshit, which is why she has said for the longest time, I'm not political, in the sense that I don't get involved. When somebody says they're not political, it's not that they don't care about issues that matter to people. It's that she doesn't get involved in the drama bullshit that is politics.
Partisan electoral politics, parties, candidates, politicians, no. Dolly was completely political. I resent anybody saying she wasn't. Her existence, just looking how she looked, being on this planet, being who she was, doing the work she did across every country and ethnicity, that's political. That's the stand. The stand is she loved everybody. That speaks for itself. Now you'll want to get in here and say, well, she didn't say this and she, shut up. Just shut up.
I know from personal experience, it's like I want to do it in her voice.
Don't.
I know from personal experience how stereotypes can hurt, and I regret that my words could have conjured up an impression of Jewish control of Hollywood, even though Foxman proved it by doing exactly what he did.
Right. Exactly.
Like all Americans of goodwill, I recognize the importance of rejecting prejudice and strengthening the ideal of community and mutual respect among all our people. Parton added that her comments were misinterpreted by a number of people.
I'm sure
of course they were.
Purposefully.
Of course they were. Do you think for one second that Abe Foxman couldn't have ruined her with the full weight of the Israel lobby if they wanted to? Pat Buchanan made his video about the Israel lobby controlling Congress in 1987. So you think for one second that if they wanted to ruin Dolly fucking Parton, that they wouldn't have done it or couldn't have done it? You bet your ass they could have. So she stated something that, frankly, isn't really that offensive. Hollywood is what Hollywood is. She made a statement, not to the effect that there's something wrong with Jews, but that she wanted to do something that was Christian, religious value oriented. And if it's coming from her, you know it was the real deal. And that they rejected it. And she said, well, there's probably a reason why, and here's a legitimate reason as to why they did. And because she said that, the powers that be came to her and said, you can't say that, and we will fix your wagon if you say anything that is out of step with what we tell you is acceptable. So why would Dolly back off? Well, she has this book program for the illiterate to help them read when they're children.
Okay, first of all, you sound like you're from the Great Depression. It's not the illiterate. It's a book program from when kids are born up until they start school so that they're starting reading before school. Okay, so yes, technically they are illiterate because they're babies. So
I wasn't lying.
Okay, you weren't lying, but it isn't. It's, yes, the Imagination Library.
Could you imagine if they came after her and took her down and took all of that away?
Well,
I don't know how many
imagine the
times
amount of think about the amount of people that have been taken down, their ideas squashed, their bullshit, because of this bullshit, and that we didn't know what could have happened. That's what we have to be fighting against. That's the whole point.
Guys, I will get to this in a minute. Let's just finish this segment.
H299, you're pissing me off. You really are. All right, somebody who's been around for that long and has that kind of history does not need to speak to one particular issue just because that's the barometer we're using right now going forward. Mm-hmm. Just isn't.
And what you have to remember, and I want to be very clear about this, Dolly Parton gave back 1,000,000 times over to humanity. You want to get on somebody who's silent about Palestine? There are plenty of celebrities out there who have done nothing. And I do mean nothing for humanity. In fact, they've taken 1,000,000 pieces back and then some on their end. Those are the people who are really weak because they're not providing a source of potential opportunity, nourishment for humanity. That's not something that you can say about Dolly. Dolly did give back. And when she attempted to push back, the people who really could have wrecked everything that she worked for decided that we will ruin you if we have to. And we'll
Yeah,
take the
some states have started taking their funding away, and Trump is the one who pushed for that.
So what else is
To
left?
take the funding from Imagination Library. Yeah.
And so imagine if this was done 33 years ago when Abe Foxman in 1994 didn't like the fact that she said the truth about Hollywood. Could have just ruined it then. You wouldn't have even known that an organization or a nonprofit like this even existed. And this is a nonprofit that is worth supporting. This is something that actually does provide tangible value. There is no greater measurement of people who can achieve something in this world than those who have a modest education at a minimum. There's a reason why they want people working in Walmart and in Amazon factories and in places where surveillance centers are going up, because they don't value life. Remember what we've been saying. If they could have us in bondage, they would. Dolly, on the other hand, Dolly was the best of us. She showed what potential really was. And again, she is the American dream.
And yet she's still a person, so not perfect. And nobody acknowledged that more than her. She was unapologetic. And you know what happened when people pointed out that she did something that was wrong or that hurt them? She would apologize and do everything she could to rectify the situation. She didn't double down. She didn't have ego. She had no ego. That's what it is. And it's like for people who are like saying shit, it's like nobody is everything. But she came pretty fucking close. Because to me, that's like that's Mary Poppins. We're talking practically perfect in every way. Seriously. And now she's gone. And so now we have to work on, hopefully in 100 years, maybe there could be someone else like that we create.
Well, no, it's not a question of creating. It's a question of.
He needs to take her name out of his fucking mouth. That's what I think. I think he should not even, her name should not come out of his mouth.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Yes, we all have ego. Oh, about Trump saying something about her.
Well, as I said, he is the president.
Yeah, we all have ego. But as we evolve and as we become more emotionally mature and capable, and the truth is some people never get this. They die in ego. It happens all the time. But there are some people that have it under such control that it isn't what controls them. And they live their life not in ego. They have an ego. We all have one. But some people are exceptionally good of living not in their ego. And she was one of those people.
And listen, people can, as long as you're not threatening people, you could say whatever you want. You see, people who say things like this, these are people who are not happy in their own lives. There are people that truly take pleasure in seeing other people suffer. And that's something that you have to deal with on your own. That is it. I often, they say Doubt protests too much. That would be an example of that.
I'm not having it today, guys. I'm just not having it today. Just.
Yeah. It's a form of narcissism, but again, it's also a form of insecurity is really what it is. There are people, it doesn't matter.
Enough. Seriously. It's like, and the fact that you're sitting here and you see that I'm obviously upset and you're still doing it, that just makes you a piece of shit. Bye-bye.
I would ask you to stop doing that.
No. I don't need mean fucks in my chat. I just don't.
I mean, honest to God, guys, are you so fucking weak that you can't have somebody say, I think you should take the injection? Okay. So don't take it.
She thought she was doing the right thing. People are allowed to be wrong.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them sellouts, and it doesn't make them evil.
And she's wrong.
Okay?
And she was wrong.
Seriously.
And she was wrong. Okay. So she was wrong. A lot of people were wrong.
She's a boomer, for God's sake.
Just the fact that and again, it's a.
Thank you, queer Black socialista.
It is a reminder that You can't. There is a reason, Heather, why a lot of people want humanity to go away. There's a reason why people don't get so upset when Peter Thiel says, should humanity survive? I'm not so sure about that one. And so when
I'm
people
not. Well, but I agree with him on that. That's the one thing I agree with Peter Thiel on. Isn't that interesting? I don't see what, other than certain people on this planet right now, we do not act like a species that deserves to continue on. Sorry. I think we're a fucking failure in how we treat each other, how we sit and argue about how bad we treat each other. We're ridiculous.
And this is
Embarrassing. We're an embarrassment as a species. Other species, I think they roll their eyes at us like other countries roll their eyes at this country.
And that's why H299 is one of our favorite people in the chat, because even though she has her opinion regarding Dolly and Palestine, and I just explained what I think was a very salient reason as to why she didn't say as much, that's not hating somebody. That's saying, I wanted her to be even better than she was. And there is something to be said for that.
But here's what I will say, okay? If I had found out, let's say, that Dolly was a Zio, that would be a very different situation.
That's a different
That would be
story.
an entirely different situation.
And she was not a Zionist.
Oh, no. She
No.
wasn't anyist.
No.
That's the point. She wasn't
was a
anything
Christian.
that would be. Yeah, but when you say, like, these ists are ultimately supremacists.
Correct.
Whether it's Jewish supremacists, white supremacists, those are ists. And she wasn't with those people in any capacity. So I never had to think, we're in it. We're in it. We just need to get some more of the people on the inside on our side. Yeah. Exactly. What the hell have we done? From my calculations, we have made everything worse. Like the planet and the critters would be infinitely better off without us. We're the problem. Like if the humans were all of a sudden to go away, nothing would suffer. Everything would thrive. And yet we have species vanishing all the time and shit is totally suffering and not thriving.
Correct. You know, I say to everybody who's stateside, who's overseas, the most beautiful places in the United States to visit are where the least amount of people live. And that's not by accident. You can go to places in East Tennessee, in various parts of Appalachia. You can go to the Great Plains region, particularly places like Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas. What do they have in common? It's not a lot of people there. And you see the most beautiful natural landscapes in the world. And what makes them so special is the fact that they haven't been completely pillaged yet. Yet being the key word, because who knows what's going to happen. And this is why we speak up as much as
That's not racy. That's not racist. It's speciesist. And I am. You are correct. I am speciesist because I think we cause more problems than we solve as a species, whereas other species actually exist within how they're supposed to. Right? So yeah, I think we are the problem on the planet, is the humans. No other species is destroying the planet.
Yeah,
so
but
you
again,
know, who can we all live without? The people, I assure you.
Yeah. Part of the reason why we haven't evolved, and part of the reason why we're devolving, if you will, is because of advancements in technology. The whole concept of technology and audience capture by not the millions, but now the billions, is to create a society that is completely dependent on the whims of a ruling class. That's all.
I'm not saying humans should be extinct. I'm just saying I don't say we necessarily deserve to exist. I don't think anybody deserves or has a right to exist. I think if your species is not capable of sustaining itself, which we do not seem to be, then I believe in science and that eventually we will no longer be. So I'm not saying we should be. I'm just saying it seems to be the direction.
Kim in Sussex, I just want to say that is a beautiful lynx. That is a lynx. That's not a cat.
No, that's her. I think that's probably like her Maine Coon cat.
Okay, well, see if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Yes, Tony, there are a lot of good people
Of
out there.
course.
The problem is that collectively we don't know how to fight against the system the way that we're supposed to.
We don't know how
And-
to find all of those people, which is why I think that this was an opportunity in terms of collectivism. It is a Lynx. Okay, cool.
I got that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's cap this with Dolly. You were special, more special than you'll ever know. And we should be living in a world where she is the gold standard. And
Well,
that's who
you know what it says what it said on the back of my truck since the day I got my truck, in my hitch on my trailer hitch. It's a what would Dolly do? And I honestly think that in our lives, if you would stop and think what would Dolly do, 9 out of 10 times you're probably going to do the right thing. You'll do the right thing. You'll do the kind thing. So
I want to get something out of the way right off the
Okay.
bat. The reason, again, let's reiterate this point, and this is a test, but we are 100% going to be doing an afternoon show. Jen and I will have another conversation about whether or not it would make sense to potentially do the show at 4 o'clock Eastern time, because I know we're going up against Due Dissonance right now. Guys, we're going to likely be going up against somebody.
well, that's the thing. You can't accommodate everybody. And it's just the way it is. We got to do what we got to do. And here's the thing, guys. This is what's so amazing. I know you guys are going to love this. The technology now allows for us to watch something now and then watch something else later, right? We don't need to be seen live. We do it live because it's fun and it's easier that way for us, quite honestly. But
Yeah.
you don't have to watch it live. I know you want to, right? I know you want to be at 2 parties at the same time. But you know what? This is one of those things where you just can't have it all.
Just the fact that you're up, whether you haven't gone to sleep or you just got up, we're
Where
very
are you that
appreciative.
it's 4 a.m. in the morning? Where are you?
If it's 4 a.m., then it's probably maybe India.
See? Who knows?
Is it India?
Where are you people?
Yeah. If it's 4 a.m., I mean, somebody's got to know.
All right. If you're going to say what time it is, you need to clock in where you are. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Beyond that, and listen, we have almost 200 people watching for a first go around of doing a time.
Yeah,
that
I'd
not
love to see
everybody's-
where everyone is. It's 7 p.m. in the UK. That I know. I knew it wasn't like crazy late there because
If it's 12:55 a.m. where you are, Tony, then I'm guessing you're in Asia somewhere.
Yeah, he's got to be, right?
12 hours? Yeah, 12 hours. Yeah, that's probably. Oh, wait a minute. Tony, are you?
Well, listen, he does some pretty funny voices
Oh
himself.
my God, you need to
So
go
bad.
on Due Dissonance. You need to go on their chat and tell Russ that. That's so funny.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that one. Yeah, no, listen, again, we're feeling it out, but we are going to be doing an afternoon show from now on. That is the thing. Since we had a viral clip go the other day, so let's get to our super chatters because we have a number of new members. Want to give them a shout out. Patreon.com/revolutionary change for as little as $5 a month. You can become a supporter of our small but mighty, despite heavily suppressed, yet still growing channel. Kawani B, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. By BC, how would you say that, Jen? BCEYDT?
I don't know that it is a word.
Maybe it's not. Usually think I might be missing something, but I'm wrong.
No,
Thank
I
you for
don't think
becoming a YouTube member. Dancer, thank you for becoming a YouTube member.
Free Palestine.
Amen. Captain Buck, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Citizen Pendejo with the 20 pesos. You realize you were going against Due Dissonance, don't you? Yes, we do now. Again, we can't.
Keenan
we don't-
Russell, you know what? We'll keep. You can watch.
They've got
one or
4
the other.
shows
Watch us
going every
tomorrow.
week. We do 3. Jim Talib with the $5. Always a pleasure, my friend. And Judith Ann Campbell. Jen, this one's for you.
Dolly Parton was absolutely brilliant. Those of us who disagree with her should be praying for her and wishing her the best with everything we have, especially if we are trying to follow Jesus. Thank you. How hard was that, right, Judith? Thank you for setting that example. I appreciate that.
It hurt. Didn't want to say it.
Just
Guys.
be kind, people.
Yeah. It's not
Be
hard.
fucking kind.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've gotten so far away from that because of the internet that we get to hide behind this like keyboard warriors and nobody has to actually say things to people's faces. And so I have always been very clear that if I am willing to write it, I'd be willing to say it. Like that's just how it is. But the amount of people that are just so capable of being so mean. And it's sad because really what it means is those are just some of that many miserable people.
In
that
the
we
world we're
have to
living in
live
today,
among.
can you blame them? Can you blame people for being miserable today? I can't. That's why I try to be a little softer with them, because I understand that life is full of a lot of misery right now. So I definitely understand that sentiment. I'm not going to say
And
that-
yes, my son, who is a classical musician and somewhat of a music snob, will tell you that Coat of Many Colors is one of his favorite songs, and he loves Dolly. So just saying.
Pirate Justin, sorry to disrupt your workday, but we have to make an adjustment. Only one day. Thank you for checking in. And Heather for Humanity, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. We
Thank you,
really appreciate it.
Heather.
I really love your profile picture. It's very
I do too. And I honestly, like, I love it when people, like, I love to know where people are.
Yeah.
Like some people, I already know where you are. Like, I know where Travers is. Like, there's some people where I know where you are, but.
Yes.
you know.
So yeah, Thursday afternoon is permanent.
Peter doing Russ doing Trump.
Well, listen, this is my impression of Russ doing Trump. It's a really sweet, just a below the surface type of impression, but it's a really good one too, because he's probably been around him a time or two when he was working in New York, so you never know.
Keaton and Russell are friends. We
We're not
appreciate-
messing with Pete Saturday Night Show. We would never do that to you people.
No, that's not happening. You can count on me on Saturday night. That's different. But in terms of afternoon, that means a lot, Heather. It really does. Remember, that's why we say we're a small but mighty channel. You know, we do what we need to do. And there is a reason for that. There are so many important reasons why we cover this. And I am going
You want to know? Because I know. I know why Willie Nelson is still alive. Also a national treasure, will also probably see me in not as quite a situation, but also very sad when he finally passes. Keith
Willie
Richards, not so
Nelson.
much. I'm not sure that Keith Richards didn't die and isn't just living post-mortem.
Oh,
So
he's
I don't know.
Yeah, he's propped up with a lot of, and he's been embalmed, but yet somehow they're still making him go. This is a great transition into what I think is an incredibly important story, because I know some people in the chat who positive or just outright negative regarding criticisms of Dolly Parton. Understanding why the Zionists are able to get away with what they get away with, why they do the things that they do, and why we are so hypercritical of people like John Ossoff, who are just as bad as the Randy Fines of the world. They just do it in a more nuanced, professional
Right.
manner.
Right.
But it still comes to the same conclusion. You're still getting to the same place.
Right.
And there is a reason that we are getting to that place, as sad as it is. But this
John
is
Ossoff is controlled opposition.
absolutely,
That's it.
absolutely. And we bring this up because a story that we covered a few months ago, and this should not come as any surprise to anybody. This is one of the worst stories we've had to cover in Jerusalem. Good to see you.
Greetings to Africa, Algeria. Hello.
North Africa. Yeah, that's really cool.
No, Mondays is still evenings, guys. Just one afternoon. You would
Israel-
think like we pulled the whole rug out from under these people.
Well, a lot of people are getting the big surprise, but hopefully we'll develop an audience that will be consistent. Like I said, we're at about 200 live viewers for a first go around, where a lot of people are like, hey, I didn't know this was happening. I'm like, hey, we've been announcing it for a week. You know, just again, it's good. This is going to be permanent. So Thursday nights are done. So this is going to be the new format, and we're going to be working on it. But here's the thing. When we say that Israelis are above the law, we mean that they are above the law, that they can get away with murder, or in this case, attempted murder. Israeli court acquits Jewish settler who kicked a Catholic nun in the head. You remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, but yes, I do. Yes, I do remember that one.
The ruling comes amid growing attacks by extremist settlers against Christians in occupied East Jerusalem and the West Bank. This took place in East Jerusalem. You can see, and the nun was 48 years old. If you look closely, you can see she has a hearing aid. This was attempted murder. This man blindsided this woman. She didn't see the attack coming.
She could have gotten dead from that. You could get dead from that.
Could have cracked her head wide open on the pavement, and no one did anything. If you remember, everybody was just standing around and staring at it.
Clearly mentally unstable. That wasn't a question. The question is what they're going to do about that, because this is someone who doesn't deserve to have their liberty right now.
No, it's a person who doesn't deserve to be alive. Let's be very clear about that. This person does not deserve to live. That's my opinion. And if I were a judge, I mean, I'm just saying, I would have sentenced him. It would have been a very harsh sentence. Let's just leave it at that. And that's the way it should be. I don't apologize for that. And I don't think anybody should.
This is one of those things. This is one of those times where vigilante justice would be appropriate.
Correct. An Israeli court has acquitted Yonah Schreiber, a Jewish settler from the occupied West Bank settlement of Padul, over a violent assault on a French Catholic nun near Jerusalem's Old City earlier this year. The Jerusalem Magistrates Court acquitted Schreiber on Wednesday on the grounds of mental illness. Jen, can you get into this, please?
No, because I don't know what the laws are there regarding it, but it's, wait a second. So if he was found not guilty in this country because of mental disease or defect, he wouldn't be free. He would be in an institute. You would go to a psychiatric facility versus going to a regular prison, or potentially to a psych ward somewhere. But I don't know how it works there. So when somebody is acquitted because of mental illness, in this country, they don't go free. That doesn't happen.
Following the ruling, Schreiber's lawyer, Idan Gamliel, described the attack as an unfortunate incident and said the defense took note of the nun's difficult feelings over the assault. I really have a way with words.
Difficult feelings over the assault?
Yeah, she was in his way.
Do you have any idea? And as somebody, again, an atheist, right? Like, to me, I kind of find organized religion, it's not my thing, whatever, but I have a vast amount of respect for people that dedicate their lives to something bigger than them.
Dolly
and
Parton.
Nuns are pretty up there. And I'm not saying they're all great people. I've met some cunt nuns. I have. I know that it's a thing. But in general speaking, these are people that are dedicating their life to helping others. So somebody who goes out of their way to hurt a nun, it's kind of like kids that hurt animals, or people that hurt disabled people or elderly people that are even more vulnerable. Nuns, I kind of think like that, because they are a little bit more vulnerable. Most of them are pretty naive, but the point is that there's a special kind of illness where somebody would hurt a nun. Think about how fucked up that is.
Schreiber attacked a 48-year-old nun in April outside the Cenacle on Mount Zion, a site regarded as holy by Christians and Jews. The nun, a researcher at Jerusalem's French School of Biblical and Archaeological Research, required medical treatment after Schreiber pushed her to the ground and kicked her in the head. Again, that's attempted murder.
The problem with this ruling, in my opinion, is it basically allows for every single fucking Israeli to have mental disease or defect defense, because you know what? They all do have mental disease or defect.
Zionism is a mental defect.
Exactly. So it's sort of like, okay, I guess that, but as long as they're all getting locked up somewhere.
Yeah, they don't have enough jail cells for that one. She's going to have to bring him here to the States. The attack drew international condemnation and formed part of a growing pattern of attacks by Jewish extremists against Christians in occupied East Jerusalem and the West Bank. In May, the French organization Le Voix d'Orient said Israeli troops demolished a convent belonging to the Salvatorian Sisters, a Greek Catholic religious order in the village of Yaron. In April, an image showing an Israeli soldier using a jackhammer to smash a statue of Jesus on a cross in southern Lebanon went viral on social media. A recent report by the Rawlsing Center for Education and Dialogue documented a sharp rise in attacks on Christians, describing a continued and expanding pattern of intimidation and aggression. It recorded 155 incidents in 2025, including 61 physical assaults, 52 attacks on church property, 28 cases of harassment, and 14 instances of vandalized signage. The report said the figures represent only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, well, for everyone you see, there's at least 50 that you don't, right? So that's what we could, go off of. They have there's complete impunity because there's never accountability.
The other thing you have to remember is that he gets convicted or is, well, not convicted, but sentenced, if you will, to a mental hospital for 6 years, but he's going to walk out of there in less than 6 months.
Yeah, well, most likely, but that would be the case regardless of what his plea deal was. Because again, there's no accountability. There's no accountability. The settlers are allowed to murder and torment and harass the Palestinians every day. Every day. They're allowed to be armed, and the Palestinians have no arms for self-defense. They're allowed to do that every day without any repercussions. So,
yeah, of course.
Why would it be any different anywhere else?
Well, it's not going to be. This is, again, the whole thing about their culture and the concept of what they're able to get away with. And just in case anybody's wondering, because Lord knows I am, I do have an image to share with you.
Oh, you do?
I do. This is...
Are you
this is
Zio
exactly...
already?
This is it. No, this is exact... Well, yeah, it is partial Zio hunting, I would say. But, this is an example of exactly what you would expect somebody like this to look like.
Ew.
He's an inbred.
Ew.
And of course, he attacks a woman. And he doesn't just attack any woman, he attacks a nun. So what does that tell you? This is what an inbred...
He's a coward and a piece of shit. And that he deserves to be on the hit list is what it tells me.
Be careful with that. They're going to call us, call the cops on us again.
Good luck with that where I live. Good luck with that here. Tell the sheriff I say hi.
Well, we already know what happened to me. It could happen again. Thanks, Jen, making my life
Well, it
more
happened to me too when I was living in Florida.
Yeah, the difference is that you told them to fuck off and they went, I didn't tell them to fuck
off. I simply smiled and said, no, thank you, and shut the door. I was very polite. Not speaking to the fucking popo.
But just so you know, guys, this is soulicized. These are the chosen people, in case you were wondering. Not really.
No, it's Zionists against humanity because the Christian Zionists don't get a free pass. Just because they're not necessarily calling the shots doesn't mean they get a free pass for their complete and utter ignorance. So yeah, they do. They murder all those people, but those same Christian Zios support the murdering of those Christians too.
Yeah, remember, there's only, but in the end, I don't know, was it you that sent this to me earlier? Basically described Zionism like a dying star.
I've been trying. I tell you, I've been trying. I don't even think I have enough weed, but Zionism like a dying star.
It's like Zionism in a lot of ways is like a dying star, in that the people who truly understand what's happening right now, they understand that they're on borrowed time, which is why you're seeing so many of these Zio scum pop up in all different parts of the world. Because those that truly have ways and means that are the benefits of the Rothschild banking system and I'm sticking to that story. They have the ability to escape to places like the little town in northern Italy, to Cyprus, to Southeast Asia, to Argentina, now to Colombia. Those that understand that the jig is up are already making their escape plans. So as a result, they will be either okay, or depending on how much they piss off the locals, they're in a lot of trouble. You would think that somebody who's recognizing that their star is fading, that they would slow it down a bit and maybe try to figure out an off-ramp that makes sense, but they're not doing that. When a star is dying, it gets bigger and brighter and more violent. And that is exactly what Zionists are doing.
Oh, everybody keeps coming on and asking, okay, welcome, welcome, welcome all. We're on in the afternoon. Thursdays is now going to be an afternoon show. It just is. You'll still have Monday nights and Saturday nights, Thursday afternoons, and that's where we're at.
Agreeable. It's good. Glad that you checked in. Hey, listen, I'm just grateful that a lot of people are checking in, despite the fact that this is not something that was prepared for, not something that a lot of people were paying attention to, but that we are going to do this. And again, we'll have another conversation, regarding an afternoon time slot. But again,
it gives me a free Thursday night, which is nice.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's either going to be 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. If anybody has any opinion about 4 p.m. and are we running up against a show like Due Dissonance? Again, we're open to making a switch. But again, we want to be able to communicate with people in Europe.
I think that, yeah, and you need to really keep it at this time. Because even if you do 4 o'clock, that's still really late. Like, it doesn't make it that much more conducive that it's worth it for us. That's just a 3-hour difference.
Well,
no, I think we should just stick with this.
Okay.
Thank you, Augury Bull.
Just observers.
I know. Well, you know what, guys? We can't figure it out, or at least Peter can't figure it out. But obviously, there's something that's casting a reflection on his head. Because if you lean in close, put your head in close to the camera. No, put it down. Like, bend your forehead. Right. See, guys, Peter's hair is not purple. It is not purple when you can. But then as soon as you put it up, you see like this glare on it. It is not eggplant or violet.
I always appreciate people who listen while they're on the job.
Which is why I tell you we need to do a better job explaining things, because not everybody is watching.
Okay, so now we got one person already saying that 5 p.m. is better. But again, no. We have 3
Peter
time
shouldn't have even asked. He shouldn't have asked. This is someone who's clearly never been a parent. We shouldn't have. There's no choices. Okay. This is going to be a 1 o'clock Eastern time. Thursdays is our thing. If Keaton and Russell are going and we're going, you know what, guys? Alternate weeks. Watch us after the fact. The content's not going anywhere. That's what I think.
No, it's not going anywhere. Obviously, that's part of. It's just Peter showing his. No, I definitely would not mess with my hair. I got lucky there.
Nobody gets to object. He should have even asked. We're not having a vote. But the point is, guys, the content.
We have 3 designated time slots on our channel: 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. That is when we either are live or our clips drop, and that is not changing. That is still staying consistent. So just keep that in mind. Now, we show you on the one hand the reality of, when you are Israeli and you see a story like we just showed you with young Schreiber, however the hell he pronounces it, you have to remember that there are people within their culture who still think that they're the victims, who still think that they are the people that are the oppressed. Now, I don't know who this gentleman is who interviewed these Israeli girls, but he takes them for quite the ride, and it is pretty funny.
Everyone you hate.
Yes.
Why? Like,
We don't know.
what's your name?
Shir. Noah.
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 From your name, kind of like Arabic name.
No,
No?
not Arabic.
All right, tell me where are you from without telling me where are you from. Food, famous dish from your
فلافل.
falafel.
فلافل. شاورما. حمص. حمص.
Are you from Turkey?
No.
No?
No.
Shawarma.
شاورما كي.
Saudi Arabia?
ها؟
Lebanon?
لا.
Syria?
نير.
Syria?
Everyone hates us.
Everyone you hate you.
Yes.
Why? Like,
We don't know.
all right.
They don't know, Jen. They have no idea.
Who could tell?
They're just
Mm, that's
misunderstood.
a-
They're just misunderstood.
Right, that's what they are.
Does anybody think at this point that maybe they're just lying? That maybe they actually do happen to know why everyone can't stand them, why nobody wants to deal with them, especially in a social setting? You can tell that their ego is bigger than the size of the small state that they call Israel. But have you also noticed something very interesting about these women? They seem to be wearing some very fancy, expensive clothing. They seem to be carrying themselves as people who are very well
For
off.
all you know, those are all knockoffs. I have no clue. I have no
Maybe.
clue what they are. They could be total posers. I have no idea.
Possibly, but I'm not sure about that. We'll continue.
Name any famous celebrity from your country.
No, Kirill, she was in Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot.
Can you name how many color in your country?
Two colors.
Two color?
Blue and white.
Blue and white.
Yes.
What countries have got blue and white?
Peace.
Are you from Poland?
No.
Germany?
No.
Spain?
No. It's near Lebanon, Jordan, all of this.
Lebanon, you said no?
No.
Shawarma.
Yes.
Egypt?
Falafel, shawarma.
Egypt?
Yeah, they
Jeff?
created falafel and shawarma.
They just went through a complete list of foods that are all native to Middle Eastern cultures that have nothing to do with the fake state of Israel.
It's all Levantine food. Okay, it's Levantine food. So it's Palestinian, Lebanese, the Levant people. The Levant, those are the people. That's their food, not these people.
When it is provable beyond any doubt, that what they are saying is a lie, that they steal and appropriate culture that is not theirs.
I agree. I don't see how that's possible. Maybe when it's somebody's like maybe first time out of that country, maybe they've never left Ziohel before, and it's their first time, and because their media is even more restricted than our media in terms of what messaging they get and propaganda they get. Theirs is actually even worse than ours. So
Nadia's right.
I
That's why
agree.
I said language is very specific.
Yeah, you're
You have
right.
to-
They're not settlers. They're
No,
terrorists.
They're genocidal terrorists
terrorists.
and colonizers. Exactly.
They're terrorists, colonizers. Okay, the entire Zio project is a colonial project. The people that are in the occupied area where they're not even supposed to be, those are terrorists. Correct.
Mhm.
Squatters, that's also true. Yes, they are squatters.
They are definitely squatters. These are people, well, again, they're also the type of people that are always looking for a free lunch in more ways than one. So keep that in mind. Smash that like button, guys, if you haven't done so yet. We really appreciate it. Let's try to get this out to as many people as we can. When you think about the type of media that is played in Israel, the type of media that perhaps they are watching, this is what passes. This is what passes for what is considered journalism.
What is this from? Is this Jonathan Pollard?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's so grotesque.
And yet,
Like he's Shmuley level gross.
oh, absolutely. And in Israel,
Ugh,
he's a hero. He's a national fucking hero.
I'm just-
By Jonathan Pollard has announced he will join the Israel First Party led by Knesset member Sharon Haskel. This is a massive step into politics for Pollard, who actually joins us now on the broadcast to talk about this decision. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. As far as Lebanon is concerned, again, we cannot allow Hezbollah to remain standing at the end of the day. I've been in favor of pushing our border, officially pushing our border north to the Awali River.
These people are insane. I cannot. This is insane.
That is caucasity. That. Oh, yes. And I'm so sure that Hezbollah is going to just allow that to happen.
And it's always coming from some bureaucratic bastard who would never in a million years be caught dead in the crossfire. It's not his fat ass.
Oh, it's been a couple of days for me, yes, but no. I assure you, it's been a couple of days. And yes, we've talked about this. The Yiddish language and the Yiddish people are not the Zionists that we hate. The Yiddish people are generally the Neturei Karta, the sects that are anti-Zionist. They still speak Yiddish. Those are the people that still speak Yiddish. The Zionists didn't let the people speak Yiddish, so that's why everyone there speaks that fake Hebrew shit.
Good point.
And not stopping until Hezbollah is completely destroyed. As far as Iran is concerned, again, this is a major threat. We shouldn't be waiting on the United States. I mean, I don't know what President Trump has up his sleeve. I mean, I don't even think he knows at this point. And
Yeah, it'd be called a catheter and a shit bag is what's up his sleeve.
identified what's called.
Sorry, I had to just say that he's what's up his sleeve. I'm picturing catheters and pumps and shit.
I would say Pollard would know a thing or two about that too.
A third option for us. And that option is to go it alone, Israel first. And we have the resources. We just don't have the willingness to go ahead.
Do you know why you don't have the willingness? Jen, do you have an idea as to why they don't have the willingness?
Wait, what was he referring to exactly?
He says that they have the weaponry, but they don't have the willingness to go forward with this. Do you know
us?
why?
The United States?
No, can you pay attention to the segment, please?
I'm sorry.
He's talking about the fact that the Israelis don't need the Americans. Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. You don't need us. Do it all on your own.
Oh, so he's saying they could do it all on their own.
Correct. So they don't
No,
have
they
the willpower.
can't. That's silly. They can't even at all do it on their own.
Listen
They can't
here,
even. They're gonna.
Listen here, you fat demented fuck. You could do it. Why don't you put your fat ass in harm's way?
They don't even have enough of their own. Their military people. They're having suicides. They're having people that are going AWOL.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that in a minute. It's always somebody else's responsibility. It's never your own. It's always somebody else that has to do the dirty work. Hence why, when it was announced just a few weeks ago that Israel would not be joining the United States on a ground war against Iran. Gee, I wonder why that is, because Israelis only fight unarmed people, not armed people.
They're right. They're not trained. They're trained for killing women and children and people that have no weapons and self-defense capabilities. That's it. That's all they knew how to do. So I don't. Yeah.
Bingo.
Ahead and take Iran off the map, so to speak. We have to do this. We have to destroy the IRGC, not Iran proper, but the IRGC, Hezbollah and Hamas, in order to prepare for the next war. I hate to put it that way, but
really?
Turkey and Egypt are coming up next.
They are. That's what you say, caucasity, sir. So he's suggesting
Like a dying
that
star.
they're gonna take on the land army of Turkey. That's what he's suggesting. Oh, I just do not think that's World War III. Because now you're talking
And that's-
about invading a NATO nation that has the largest land army over there. So I that just doesn't seem like a bright move.
As our major strategic threat in the North and the South. And unless we have all these other fronts eliminated by that time, we're going to be in a terrible situation.
After everything you've been through, and I can share that on a little bit more of a personal note. I've had a poster of you up in the house begging to bring you home after everything that you've gone through over in the United States, from the intelligence world now to entering politics. What's one thing that you think that might surprise people who only know the public version of Jonathan Pollard and not the personal version? What would surprise them?
I don't want to know.
I actually have a sense of humor.
Yeah, I want to see what's on his hard drive.
Oh my God. There is no way that he does not have some funky ass shit skeletons and make it go away. Make it go away, please. Please make it go away. So bad. God, he's terrible. Please take it down.
They indoctrinate them to such a degree.
Let me tell you something. I'm not saying people eat babies, okay? I know that there's definitely stuff in the Epstein files that lends
Get
itself to some of that shit.
Indoctrinated to
Okay.
such a degree.
Why are you on such a delay? Hello? Can you not hear me?
I'm waiting. I can hear you.
Well, what is going on?
I was having an issue. I don't know what he doesn't really eat babies. Are you sure about that?
Well, my point is that somebody before was saying something about Dolly eating babies. It's like, this is one of these people's go-to, because and don't get me wrong, I know the Epstein files absolutely shows that there was some of that weird fucking shit going on. And I don't doubt that, but it isn't something that we just assign to people that we don't like, just say that they eat babies. Like, it's just, it's overused. It's overused. I don't think that there is as big of a baby eating market as you would think.
I would hope not. And we have.
See, they said you were
more-
frozen and stuff. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, I was.
Okay. That's so funny.
A glitch in the matrix. Well, here's what we can tell you guys. And this is a perfect conclusion to this story, because it's something that Jen and I said we were going to bring up today. And it's a prime example of it's like what Brian McGinnis said, nobody wants to fight or die for Israel. And this is exactly why when you see Fat Pollard on TV saying what he's saying, it's because of stories like this that make it clear that they are not fighting the fight that they expect the Americans to fight when they're out there saying, oh, we don't need the Americans to do this.
Right.
Are you sure about that? Of course you do, because nobody else is going to do it. You really are on your last fucking legs, and everyone's got to know that. But here you have a situation where a Navy sailor who jumped off the USS Abraham Lincoln trying to commit suicide faces disciplinary charges, could lose pay. The unarmed sailor jumped overboard on August 3rd, his wife said, in what she described as a suicide attempt. Could you imagine
We've
that?
talked about this. We have talked about this carrier. I have expressed the level of outrage. I've shared my anecdotal story of how shitty aircraft carriers are on their best day, and to think what these sailors have been having to deal with, and the fact that now you would penalize somebody for suffering trauma that you put them through. is insane. And what isn't being spoken about, because fucking Hog's Breath doesn't ever mention this shit, is the reason why this aircraft carrier was so undersupplied and is such in a bad way, and why they're in not having any sort of like supply chain or help, right? Nobody wants to address that, because then they'd have to acknowledge that all of our bases were taken out, including the Central Command in Bahrain, that everything would have to go through. I think that's like, is it called the Fifth Fleet? Is that what's in Bahrain? The big command center in Bahrain, which is where everything would get routed through in this capacity, was taken out a long time ago by Iran. So for him to sit there and say, we're getting them everything they need. No, you're not. They're not getting shit. These people are losing their minds, rightfully so. And again, I was on an aircraft carrier on a regular day, and I am telling you, it was horrifying. So what this must be like now with these, I can't even fathom.
A Navy sailor who jumped from the USS Abraham Lincoln this month is facing disciplinary action and could lose half his pay, according to charging documents and testimony from his wife. The latest news follows a series of reports in mid-August claiming that sailors aboard the 5,000-man USS Abraham Lincoln, which has been in combat with Iran for more than 5 months, has spent more than 250 days in a row without making land, have made multiple attempts to jump overboard, and are experiencing other issues with their mental health. Naval families have also said there are safety concerns, food shortages, water contamination, and disruption in the mail system on the ship. The unnamed sailor's wife reportedly told MS Now that her husband jumped from the ship in a suicide attempt on August 3rd and is now accused of violating the articles of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. MS Now reportedly received charging documents that purportedly showed the Navy has accused the sailor in question of violating Article 83 for malingering, a term related to instances when a sailor fakes illness to avoid fakes illnesses to avoid work. The documents also said he had violated Article 86 for absence without leave. Well,
Can we wait? What's this sailor's name? Do we know his name?
No.
Okay.
It's not at the moment.
Oh, we need to support this sailor massively.
The charging documents said the sailor could lose half his normal pay. I think they're insane for doing this to people who need mental help. Instead of giving them help, this is just another huge stressor.
Yeah, so do I. This is insanity. And yet not remotely surprising. This is how we treat people that serve. And also, we also round up their parents and deport them while they're serving. We do that too.
That's true too. The sailor's wife told MS Now that medics treated her husband on August 13 for 5 days, but that he did not see a psychiatrist or a therapist, and authorities told him to return to work. She said that the Navy did not contact her about her husband jumping from the ship until 4 days after the event. She said she learned about the incident from one of her husband's friends who sent her a message. The couple, who are both age 19 and have 2 children, what does that tell you? You know, I don't want to be.
This is the last resort jobs program. This is a child.
Yeah.
Our brains are not fully developed until our late 20s.
These are children having children, which is a serious problem in our society. No one should be punished for getting the mental health care they need. Yeah, that's why we need single payer health care. Multiple reports citing anonymous officials on Tuesday said that the vessel will make a brief stop in Thailand and allow to rest and recover. The report said this stop would take place in September, but not specify the port of the arrival date, citing security concerns. The USS GW is heading to the Middle East to replace it, so now they're going to suffer. According to sources cited by the Associated Press and CNN, who indicated that officials had previously planned the swap. Officials have not confirmed the date of this swap.
Again, you have an aircraft carrier going to be somewhere where there is no support chain, support lines, proper equipping capabilities. Just because yes, the Lincoln has been at sea for like 250, some insane amount of the fact that they would even go after this man, whatever. But putting another carrier there doesn't change the fact that they have no supply lines.
Nope.
So it's still a predicament.
They're probably reduced to eating cornmeal for all we know.
And they are at such low capacity. And now they're talking about what? Turkey? Oh yeah, that should be fun.
This is why we say we have to lance them off like a boil, as you have put it so eloquently. That is what needs to happen. And if we do not lance them off like a boil, we are going to find ourselves in a situation where we will continue to see, and this is going to be a tough one, but we have to cover it. The Zionists are at the highest levels of political and economic control in the world, as they are here at home. And don't ask me why Miriam Adelson and Ivanka Trump decided to sit down for a conversation.
Ew.
But
you really are subjecting me to some grotesque, like out of like devil's advocate monster people shit today. God.
But this is an example of, you saw how the Israelis react to somebody like Jonathan Pollard. Now you can see the infiltration that somebody like a Miriam Adelson has here in the States. Miriam Adelson is from Palestine, even though she calls it Israel. You can see where their power vacuum is at its strongest. When you have the president's daughter, who is the apple of his eye, we all know that. Ivanka's my favorite one, totally my favorite one. Well, here's an example of what that systemic control actually looks like, the true infiltration of the Zionist ideology within our political and economic structure.
Certainly not to Orthodox Judaism, but you did it. Tell us about your decision to go on this journey. Was it because you were in love with Jared, or also with Torah values? Is a religious Jewish life challenging for you?
So I never normally talk about this, but we're amongst friends, right? It's just us. It's funny, in retrospect, the decision is so right and so obvious. And at the time, obviously going through the process, I stayed very open-minded, because as many of you in this room know, this is not a commitment you can enter into lightly.
Did you freeze it?
No.
Okay. Jen, can you briefly touch upon what this is, the IAC, the Israel American Council?
This is not one that I am necessarily like, I'm sure I've heard of it or seen it. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? Let me explain. All roads lead to Jewish National Fund. All roads lead to JNF. All roads lead to, it's sort of like how every product in the supermarket, even though it has a different brand on it, is ultimately owned by like Procter & Gamble or Kimberly-Clark, right? All roads lead to that. All of these things lead to JNF and lead to the big oligarchs. It all goes to the same place. You can make up whatever little organization, tax shelter fucking shit you want to.
And what does the JNF do again?
That's the Jewish National Fund. That's the basis of everything. That's where all the money that's the whole creating of Israel fund. That is it. That's what everybody was giving to for years. And that's who sponsors Birthright. That's who sponsors the program that I did years ago, Alexander Muss High School in Israel. All roads lead to the JNF. JCCs give to JNF. Like that's just, it's where it goes.
Oh, I understand. And I also think that and again, everything relates back to making Aliyah and becoming a true Jew. You become part of the indoctrination. That's those summer trips, if you will. Not sure what happened here. Let me try this again.
I think you're having internet problems.
I mean, I have to do everything, so yeah. I guess
No, you don't have to do everything. You choose to do it. But the point is, you can just, why don't you, I mean, I don't personally want to watch Ivanka and Miriam Adelson. So I'm actually kind of secretly like, it's fine with me if it doesn't work. You could just give me the synopsis and spare us having to watch that shit.
Hold on.
Like, why does this show have to always involve me watching disgusting people? It's bad enough we have to talk about it.
Are you complaining, Jen?
No, I'm actually not. I'm saying this is fortuitous that it's not working. I'm looking at it as an opportunity for you to just tell me the story and not have to watch it.
Well, I think it's important for people to hear this because, again, this is the president's daughter. This is the second most important. Again, stop with that.
Okay.
It's very rude.
First of all, stop.
I'm
with
continuing.
That. You don't like it, but you do it. So here's the point, okay?
To Orthodox Judaism. But you did it.
The amount that I had to learn, the lifestyle that I was taking on, but it has been such an enormous blessing in our lives. And I see this especially as we raise our family and our children. I really think that so much of what makes Judaism special is how it ensures connectivity to family and family members, and especially in the roles we find ourselves in today, where we have an unprecedented situation of two parents working in the West Wing and raising a young family.
The thing about these particular people, and you have two things working simultaneously, not just the fact that they are Zionists, but they're also elitists. The whole disconnect from everyday people, two people working in the West Wing. Yeah. Oof. God, that's terrible to think about. I really, can you, Jen, honestly, could we have a conversation, or do you just not want to talk about this at all?
That's why I thought it was interesting. You're talking about like who these people are. They're elitists, and that's exactly what they are. You're looking at, she will become that. That's the whole point. These are the same people. They're in the same club.
Do you think that her marriage to Kushner is real?
Well, I don't think any of these people are real. So no, I think that she is been brainwashed her whole life. She almost sounds like she's from a cult, the way she talks, Ivanka. I always thought she sounds like she's a cult talker. And who knows what her thing is. There's something very off. Do I think that she fell in love with him? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think at this level, there's a lot of arranged marriages.
I would agree.
No, I don't. This is not, yeah.
Again, I'm convinced that Kushner is androgynous at this point. I mean, that's
well, I think he's like, yeah, he's an android. Yeah, they're parasites. That's what I'm saying.
Making that time around Shabbat and around the Jewish holidays to invest in our relationship with each other, to disconnect from the world to the extent that we are able, is a tremendous blessing. So I feel incredibly grateful for the values that Judaism enables us to instill in our children, but also for all that it gives back to me and Jared in a relationship with one another. So I feel very blessed. You asked if I did it for love.
She needs, basically what she's saying is she needs the rules of Judaism and Shabbat in order to find time to spend with her husband. What she's saying is if it weren't for the Judaism and the rules of keeping Shabbat, which means basically you're home for a couple of days, you don't expend energy, which I call bullshit. There's no way they keep the Sabbath. And if they do, it's because they have found a way to buy out every loophole and make it so that it's 1,000% convenient to have everything not running when it needs to be running. But this is so insane. So basically Judaism is the only connect, like otherwise they wouldn't see each other.
Yeah, that's very fair.
So she
And
needs upper management.
I guess the answer is in part, but no, because I actually converted before we became engaged. I felt that it was incredibly important to make the decision for myself and myself alone. And I felt that I needed to feel the connection deeply enough after going through 2 years of learning that it was something I wanted to do independent of my love for Jared and independent of our relationship.
Now that we know with absolute certainty is a lie. We know that it has been well documented that the reason why they couldn't get married in the first place was because she was a shiksa. And that's not allowed in their culture. The Goyim are not allowed to marry in unless you convert at that level. So she agreed to do it. And I'm sorry, but I mean, say what you want, Ivanka's a catch. Like, she's a good looking woman.
I think she's like a Stepford wife though. Like she
Sure.
doesn't, again, she sounds like she's trying, that she's in a cult.
That's my point, because somebody like Jared Kushner doesn't even look human. Like, I don't know, that dynamic doesn't make any sense unless it's arranged, unless there's something more to it than what meets the eye. And there's
No, I think it makes perfect sense. She's not, just because you find her meat suit more attractive than his, she's just as much of like an op and a robot for Empire. Like, it doesn't really matter. They serve in different, you know what I mean? You're looking at it as just from the physical because you're a guy. But that's not the thing. Is like a pawn is a pawn is a pawn.
No, I mean, I'm like, she's not somebody I would go after, but I'm just saying that I can see why people would find her attractive. I also can see that whatever that is with her and Jared, it's very bizarre, is the nicest way that I could describe it. But again, when you're at that level,
they're both shallow. Exactly. Like, it's okay. I see. You think she's more attractive. So that's from that mindset of, oh, she would be out of his league or one of those things. And that stuff is just not how I think about it at all. And I think that they are probably both equally vapid and shallow and have equally vapid and shallow values. And that's just what it is. And yeah, I think there is definitely an arrangement situation here.
We'll finish it up.
And if it wasn't something I was willing to do independent of my love for him, I wasn't sure that it could sustain itself over time. And I think in retrospect, I'm really glad that I looked at it that way, because it is a major commitment and it's been a very, very, very fulfilling one. But I don't think somebody can do this for somebody else. You have to do it for yourself. And then it has benefits for the rest of your life.
God.
Yeah, that sounded about as genuine as her hiking barefoot to the top of the island in Albania.
That they discovered on their own.
Discovered, yeah. She's just, it's creepy. I think of like Glenn Close in Stepford Wives. That's what this makes me think of. It was okay, neither here nor there, but that's what I think. Like, yeah, it's silly. She sounds silly.
I would think at this point, most people who watch our channel are aware that this country has woken up to the reality that is this Zionist takeover or infiltration of our country, and people are rejecting it. And not only are people rejecting it, but there is discussions about off-ramp situations, like where do we go? How do we avert this disaster? What is the next move? And one of the things that we've talked about, and look, we're kind of on the same page to the extent that Tucker Carlson is not somebody who should be trusted. if he does something good, that can be acknowledged and appreciated. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that whatever this America First movement that he is getting behind or is pushing right now with Marjorie, with Joe Kent, who we'll get to in a second, with Thomas Massey, it has to be taken with a grain of salt. And that's why I've highlighted Z Squirrel, who I think does an excellent job on X. And I think it goes without saying, friend of the show, who let's try to get him back as soon as we can, especially if we're doing afternoon shows, it'd be easier to have back Norm Finkelstein. And he's really done a great job of just kind of keeping things in perspective, of saying, look, we all want another path, but if the roads are ultimately going to circle back, as you suggested, with J.D. Vance, then what's the point? There really isn't one. Honestly, Jen, I just feel like you're not even paying any attention to anything I'm
You're
talking
talking about J.D. Vance.
It just seems like you're just more focused on the chat, and it's like I'm trying to talk to you, and it just
No, you're not. You're not trying to talk to me. You're pontificating, and I'm just sitting here. You're right. That's what I'm saying. Where it's not, because it isn't. But I agree. But I'm listening. Don't say I'm not listening.
Well, I want to get your thoughts before I pull this up. I mean, how do you feel about all this?
Which particular part about that? At the end of the day, we're going to get behind J.D. Vance.
That's what ultimately will happen with whatever Tucker is doing right now.
Well, that's my thoughts. That's what I think they're trying to do, is get that up.
Maybe. I don't know what to think. I just know that you should always be on guard. And you can hold people accountable. That's the difference. We see it so much.
And that's okay too. You know what I mean?
Bojangles says it.
I'm just saying, it's like, it's fine. It's fine.
I was wondering when one of you scumbags were going to show up in the chat. What the hell took you so long? And by the way, you're going to get blocked because you're spamming the chat. You see, you can't do that. If you want to put it up once, okay. But you're putting it up, what, 50 times?
Not anymore.
You know,
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm Israel. Bye.
I'm Israel. Bye. Yes. So even if you can potentially be on the same page on an issue that's very critical. That's
the end of the day. So it's just like at the local level, when we were looking at that seat 20 race, and you look at how Elijah's connected to Trent Ellis is connected to that. It's like, if they're all connected, they're all connected. It's the same thing. That means they're all being funded by the same donor. That's the point. That's what I think.
That's a good point. All right, here we go.
Joe Kent, your other guest, he wants to get rid of the Iranian regime, but he thinks the right strategy, as he put it, is brutal, I would add, criminal sanctions against the Iranian people. That's collective punishment, illegal under international law. He believes that if you impose brutal sanctions on the people of Iran, that they will rise up to overthrow the government. So they all agree on the goal, which they believe is in the U.S. national interest. I don't want to overthrow the government of Iran, but they believe that. And the only issue is tactical. One, Mr. Kent believes it was a bad choice of tactics. Mr. Trump and Mr. Netanyahu thought it was the right tactic, but they were wrong.
Why are people still caught up in their fixation on Iran? Where does the line stop?
I'm not sure where your segue is from talking about J.D. Vance to this clip.
Well, the importance of this clip is also recognizing that, on the one hand, you can be, you know what this is like? Remember how there was a lot of people that were against Ukraine, that this made no sense, this is really bad. And then the next thing you know, they pop up and say, oh, but we have to support Israel. See, that's okay. Or we have to go to war with China. That's okay. Or we have to overthrow the Ayatollah in Iran. That's okay. We now have to go to war with Turkey. That's okay. So the hypocrisy really knows no bounds. You are either fully against the empire, or you're against a segment of the empire that you don't like, but you're still for the empire.
So I guess I'm not understanding. I still don't see the link between this clip and talking about Tucker and getting behind JD Vance.
Because the whole point about getting behind JD Vance is that JD Vance will facilitate furthering the empire. He's not going to shift. He's not going to back off of Iran. He's not going to back off of pretty much anything that Trump.
No, but let's say hypothetically, it was Kamala. She's not getting back off of Iran either.
No,
exactly.
And you've got a shitload of people right now that are still coming out. You've got these shitlibs coming out right now insisting that things would have been better if Kamala was there. I could make an argument right now that things would be worse if Kamala was there, because not enough people would be paying attention. If you were to ballpark it right now, how many American soldiers would you say are currently dead in West Asia?
Are you mean from the current conflict with Iran, like since
everything
that
that's going on, Lebanon, Iran, possibly some guerrilla warfare going on with Turkey that we don't even know about.
I figure you probably have a couple thousand dead. I figure you have a couple thousand dead.
Look at this shit. My God, you don't have a life, pal. That's what you got. You got no life.
Just stop. You see, you do that and it's like, that's annoying.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I was going to say, because I don't want to block the wrong person. Got to do it.
I blocked him. He's gone. Okay. I'll do it.
Fucking
somebody has to watch the chat, right? Like you don't
yeah,
want me
but
to do
that's
that,
the
but like,
same
you got to
guy.
do it. No, it doesn't matter. Whatever. He could keep on me back, but so now I don't even remember I lost my train of thought. So
no, what I was saying is that how many American soldiers do you think are currently
deceased? I said I would say at least I would think there's at least a couple thousand that are dead, and then however many more injured. And then that doesn't include the people that are coming home fucked in the head, rightfully so. So, but I would say there's probably a couple thousand that we're not going to hear that, but I do know, and this I heard from an interview between, I want to say it was either Judge Knapp or Nima talking to Larry Johnson, but the major medical center that we use in Germany had requested from the logistics people here stateside 150 additional medics, not assistants, not nurses, medics. If you're requesting 150 additional medics to a facility, you have to figure that you would want one medic per however many people. And if you do per five, whatever it is, do the math. They're having mass casualty events on the regular coming in. That's what that says. So at this point, my guess would be it's significant. And of course, we're not going to hear about it.
Yeah. I think that there's something to be said for how a message is delivered. That's really all it is. The argument that, oh, things would be so much better if Kamala was there. The only thing that I could probably say would not be as bad if Kamala was there instead of Trump is the looting of the Treasury would not be as obvious. It would
be done much classier.
There wouldn't be a Kamala coin.
Much more polished.
Would there be a Kamala meme coin? Probably not. That you wouldn't have. But in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of empire, it would be so much better if Kamala was there for the empire. That's why they're pushing Ossoff.
Oh, guys, Ossoff.
That's a good one. I'll give Luigi.
I'm going to say Nossoff. Nossoff. Just no.
And we can prove, and this is where we're going to conclude. we can prove to you that it really doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because, as we've said, and it's unfortunate because I think that Zoran has done a lot of decent stuff already. But Zoran is still in the Democratic Party. And he is still required to play the game in a certain way, which includes him continuing to support Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker, which makes no sense.
He still has a fascist Zio in charge of his Gestapo police force.
He sure does. And you know, Jen,
it's a problem.
Do you know what they're floating now? How about this? It is already being suggested that Jessica Tisch is going to run for mayor of New York against Zoran.
Oh, that won't go well for her.
Maybe not.
It's like, yeah, she has the charisma of like a wet blanket. Like she's not.
She looks like a.
I'm not even talking about the physical appearance. Okay, the physical appearance isn't great. Okay, it isn't great. So, and in politics, unfortunately, it matters how you look. And then policy-wise, she's a fascist. So yeah, I'm going to say all around a thumbs down on that. But it isn't because she's ugly as sin. It's because she's a cuntosaur.
Well, no, she's ugly as sin on the inside as much as she's the outside.
Well, right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And the same, and in the same breath, while you have Zoran, you have AOC, you have all of these people.
Where are you, Augury Bull? Where are you?
You have to remember that they're never. Yeah, it's getting out of hand, because she's actually. You see, the problem is that Tisch is becoming a lot more visible now.
And none of us need that. None of us need that.
She's becoming a lot more antagonistic. She's basically challenging him. She is daring him to get rid of her. And she flashes that star around her neck in every public situation that she's involved in now. Every single one. And I guarantee you, she is probably very much like Randy Porkfine in that he probably, as we have pointed out before, when he was. Yeah, probably.
It is.
When Randy Fine was in the state house in Florida, he never wore the tiny hat. But when he got to Congress, he started wearing it everywhere. And the same is probably
the yarmulke.
The same is probably true with Tisch. I'm not saying that she hasn't worn the Star of David, but what I am saying is that it's become much more prominent in how she presents herself. It's much more front and center. And I don't think that's a mistake. What is also not a mistake is this. From Hakeem Jeffries, the person who needs to be supported, by the way, for Speaker.
AIPAC Shakur.
I'm proud to welcome Representatives Demi Wasserman, Schultz, Mark Pocan, and Wesley freaking Bell. Could have had Cori Bush to the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, their experience, commitment, and expertise will strengthen our work and help guide the committee as it addresses urgent challenges in national security and diplomacy. I also congratulate Representative Zio Pussy Moskowitz. That was a typo, but I think it was a Freudian slip. He really knew what he was saying. On his new role as ranking member of the Middle East and North Africa subcommittee. And thank Representative, if you guys don't know who Brad Sherman is a massive old Zionist in Southern California, representing a portion of the affluent suburbs of Los Angeles. His stewardship of the subcommittee Yeah, agree on both fronts. I also congratulate Representative Jackson as he assumes the role of ranking member of the Oversight and Intelligence Subcommittee. On behalf of our Democratic members, and we use the term Democratic very loosely, I look forward to working closely with all of our members during this turbulent time when congressional oversight is most needed. Here's what you have to understand about AIPAC Shakur. Over 95%.
He's so gross.
95%, Jen. 95% of Congress is under the thumb of the Israel lobby. And so as a
Yeah.
result, AIPAC Shakur is only doing what the powers that be want him to do. And there is a reason why Wasserman, Schultz, Moskowitz, Wesley Bell, Brad Sherman, this is the makeup of a substantial portion of the party.
That Wasserman Schultz woman, though, she's bad.
This is a foreigner who's saying this, by the way.
Of course.
When a
That's why it's so
reputation really precedes you.
When you're a congressperson here and they know about you somewhere else, it's because you're shit.
Yeah, that's not good.
Let's just be clear. None of them are like saving the world. So unless it was something really so you're shit.
Yep, I agree.
Weasel Moskowitz, that's good.
Well, he does. He's very, you know, he's weaselly. And therein lies the rub. When people say, why are you supporting AIPAC Shakur? Why are you supporting Jeffries for speaker? The fact of the matter is because the overwhelming majority of the party supports him for speaker because the overwhelming majority of the party is corporate owned and under the thumb of Israel. That's why when we talk about Zoran, it isn't that we don't like him or we don't support him. We do, because he's actually done good. And he's gotten Valdez and Chevalier and Lander into Congress. Now let's see what happens when they get there. Are they going to support AIPAC Shakur for speaker?
Yes. Every single one of them.
So then you have to ask yourself, what's the point of being in the Democratic Party?
Oh, I don't see the point of electoral politics. So you're asking the wrong person. But my prediction is that if that's who they're told to get behind, that's who they're going to get behind. Every one of those people that are in the party will fall in line. Every single one of them.
Probably. We'll see. Remember, we knew the moment that everything changed. The moment everything changed was force the vote back at the end of 2020. That was the moment. They could have easily forced a vote on Medicare for all, and they didn't do it.
And nor will they ever.
If they weren't going to do it then, they're never going to do it.
No.
Like, that's it. It's never going to happen. So anyone who thinks that you can vote your way out of this includes everybody who is distracted by the attacks against Hassan Piker.
I agree. I vote for D's nuts too.
Steinbauer, I want to ask you a question. How long have you been watching this channel?
I don't know who that is. Do we know Steinbauer?
No, he's been here for a while. He's seen it.
Us, or just because he is one of your Saturday night people?
I'm not answering this question. If you don't know the answer to it, I'm not answering it for you. Let's put it this way. I've done multiple segments on Jake Lang.
See, you must be a regular Saturday night person because we don't cover this usually on Mondays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm. That's a question that you should be able
Saturday night's incel night. You got to check it out over there.
Yeah, some of them show up, but it is what it is. Speaking of Saturday night, I will be joined by Evan Barker, who's been a guest before. She has written her book, Nothing Left. We will be discussing it on Saturday, among other stories.
Which woman is this? Who is this?
Evan Barker is the lady who worked for the DNC and basically has blown the lid on everything that.
Oh, yeah. I remember her. Yeah.
So we'll have a nice conversation Saturday night. Yep. Okay. Yeah, she's been making the rounds, so she'll be here, gracing us with her presence, and we'll have lots to talk about. So that'll be fun. I got
It
a lot of
only
white
can go
power.
so far most nights, because most nights, for a lot of it at least, I'm in the chat, so it's only going to go so far. But yeah, kind of. I'd love to have Alana. You know that she is now one of the co-producers on Matthew Solomon's Seeds for Liberation Palestine movie, and they've been doing premieres all over the place, and she's one of the producers, so I know she's been hosting things for that. But I'd love to talk to Alana Hadid. I love her. I follow her on Instagram. I think first of all, I think she's just lovely.
Well, I
But-
can tell you guys that Lena is coming on. So her cousin Lena Haddad she's the real
Hadid.
It's Hadid. Okay.
Hadid.
Lena Hadid is coming on. Mohammed Hadid is her father. And they have half sisters? Like they might be half sisters. Anyway, the point is she's the real Palestinian activist. Like this is what she does. And we'll have lots to talk about with her. And then maybe
there's a few half sisters in that mix for sure.
Mo's a little bit of a Lothario, so
Is that
is
what it?
what it
Well,
is.
whatever. I like Alana and I followed her. She posted her wedding pictures. She was so beautiful. So I would be very happy. It's not a contest. It's really not a
For
contest.
some people, it is apparently.
I know. It's like they have to pick.
Okay, so I was right. They are half sisters. That's right. Okay.
It's a witch thing.
Yes. Well, I would also say that it is dangerous what we're doing, but hey, somebody's got to do it. And as long as we have a channel, we're going to keep speaking truth to power. So here's hoping we can hang on for at least a little while longer. We will get Dylan Ratigan scheduled, and hopefully he'll stick to it. We're also
Apparently he didn't have Wi-Fi. Something happened.
that's what he
I don't know.
says. Anything's possible. We don't
Lou's
care
been
about
sleeping the whole
Optimus.
time.
We don't care about Roger Meadows. Roger Meadows is one of our OGs.
We
Roger
do
Meadows has
care.
been here since the beginning.
We do care, and I'm gonna be completely candid, honest. I know
Peter
that
Cullen?
it's Peter Cullen,
I mean,
right?
I followed Peter Cullen, so again,
I didn't either, but I
wasn't
respect
a
and I
Transformers
understand.
guy. I wasn't. I freely admit. I mean, listen, I remember Transformers, but it just wasn't for me. I just wasn't. I was more. If it was Saturday morning cartoons, X-Men. I'd say X-Men.
Okay, the point I'm making is that I recognize that somebody who is very known in that community died that was important to a lot of people, and I am sorry for that, for their loss, for people who are feeling hard about that. But I am not very familiar with his work, so I'm just going to keep it real.
I will also say, since I am a child of the 80s, the real Ghostbusters, that was one that I liked. And I know there's going to be some 80s kids in here that will say the same thing. That was definitely one that I liked. If that's what you're suggesting, yes, I did watch the Jetsons a little bit, but wasn't too crazy about them. Oh, and I love DuckTales. As a true kid of the 80s, DuckTales was a lot of fun. Trickster says Megatron is life. Interesting.
Oh, this is what's in. Did you look into the James Blunt video that came out the days before Hayden died? Did you see that?
I have not seen it, but I will come. I am going to do a
Are
follow-up.
you?
on Hayden on
Because then
Saturday.
there's some other shit coming out about the guy that she was saying who she had a restraining order.
Oh
or
yeah,
something
absolutely.
against.
Oh, now they're saying that James Blunt may have actually killed her, which
But then there were these other guy. There was another guy and his brother that were apparently there, and this was a guy that she had domestic abuse issues with in the past. This is in South Carolina. I'm not talking about James Blunt. That might be something else. Gummy bears.
I didn't watch Gummy Bears, but Gummy Bears had a really catchy theme
Tim
song.
Curry.
Tim Curry. Yes.
That's sad too. But he was also, and this is the same for Dolly. I mean, these are people that live long lives. It's not, yes.
Well,
yes.
speaking.
Hayden Panettiere is a different thing. That's a different situation. That needs to be thoroughly investigated. Something is very funky there. These three were probably not funky, just sad.
Tony Rosas, I've just got one thing to
Absolutely.
say to you. Say goodbye to your two best friends. And I don't mean your pals in the Winnebago. By the way, are we going to do any type of a movie review? Is that something that?
I don't know, because you make it has to be, I don't want to watch political movies necessarily. That's the thing. Like, that doesn't interest me so much. So I don't know. But well, yeah.
All the President's Men?
Yeah, like, I don't want to watch that.
All right. So what would you want?
I don't know, but I don't know, but it's like, first of all, I don't necessarily want to watch something I've already seen. If I was going to do a review, there's probably not that many movies that, and I don't want it to necessarily be political movies. I don't know. If you guys think of something, and also I'm not doing anything that's scary. Save the cheerleader, save the world. Something very fishy going on with these child predators that are in charge of shit, and Hayden was one of their little prey. She came up through that whole thing. Her mom sold her into like the friggin' child sex trade, basically, otherwise known as Hollyweird.
Would you want to?
So, you know, go figure how people end up fucked up. And then she just happens to be touring and talking stuff about what happened to her, and then she just turns up dead. That's a little weird.
Jen,
fucking weird.
We could review The Big Lebowski.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I could review The Big Lebowski without watching it, though. I could review The Big Lebowski like scene for scene, just sitting here off the top of my head. If you really
well, we can't watch the entire movie, but we can, you know, we could like break it into segments, which
I don't know. It requires a lot of time, and it requires somebody who wants to do the post production on that. So
well, we could talk to Colin about that and see what that would look like.
Yeah.
Yes, I did watch Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. That was one that I did watch.
That's another one. Exactly.
Yeah. Anne Heche, absolutely, 100%.
Something weird there.
And now apparently there is reasonable. There is a yes, 12. I actually recently saw the original 12 Angry Men for the first time. That's a great film. There is reason to believe that Paul Walker had information. Oh, that's interesting. That's something that we could possibly do. I mean, it turns out that Fran Drescher's the nanny.
We always do 2.5 hours. It's not even 2.5 hours, but it feels long because our guest blew us off. No, he didn't. He didn't have Wi-Fi. He didn't blow us off.
Yeah. Yeah, don't say that. No, 12 Monkeys. Yes. 12 Monkeys was a good film. That was a very good one.
The problem is Peter and I are not going to generally agree on what we would want to watch. We're just not. And I can tell you this because Peter's most prized possession was a RoboCop poster. And I've never even seen RoboCop. And not only have I not seen RoboCop, but I don't want to see RoboCop. And yes, I know what it's about. I do. I just don't care. So
well,
point
why don't
being,
you come up with a list? Maybe if you came up with a list of some movies, then we can go with that and say,
I will give you a list of movies that I haven't seen, but have wanted to see, or at least am willing to see. And you could take it from there. But I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Fun. That would be fun. That's a fun movie to review.
But are you talking about like old movies, or does it matter? Yeah, we could do a vote. We could come up with a list and then do a vote on it. We could come up with we could do that.
You know, Bonzo, the problem with that is, isn't there like a dozen Fast and the Furious
Can
movies?
you explain something to this asshole who has been shit talking me for a lot of time? Can you explain to this? Why does Jen get to pick shit on his channel? Can you explain to Doink, who has a dumbass sponge as a fucking avatar?
The original name of the channel was Generational Change with a J.
And that would be why, Peter.
I came up with it. I don't know.
Well, yes, it was your idea, but it's because it was based on me being Jen.
Yes, just Jen.
Right? This isn't Peter's channel. This is our channel. And I don't make everything harder. You just have a hard on for Peter. And so you don't like there to be any resistance to anything.
I don't want anybody having a hard on for me. I don't want anyone having a hard on for me.
That's what I'm noticing. It's like Peter does not need people defending him. Okay? I assure you, in this relationship, if anybody has needed somebody to defend them, it's me from him. Let's be real.
Escape from New York. Have you seen that? Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Of course. And it was great. But then Escape from LA, no.
Yeah.
Other than the Bruce Campbell scenes, I will give you that. But other than that, no.
Bruce Campbell's. You see, that's why people love John Carpenter. People love Bruce Campbell. It's the B movie sensibilities. That's what makes it great. If I had to pick, I would 100% be picking a movie or a genre that is from, let's say, the 70s, the 80s, maybe the 90s.
Well, we'll come up with some stuff. But the main reason that I get to pick is because we both would have to want to watch a movie. So it's why I get to pick, and then he could pick amongst those, because otherwise, and chances are we've seen different movies in a lot of cases, but we both get to pick, because nobody should be forced to sit and watch a movie they don't want to watch on a channel they don't make money on.
That's true.
So if somebody's suggesting to me that I take more time out of my week to do something else, then yeah, it's going to be something I fucking like.
Here's an example. Here's an example of something that maybe people don't necessarily agree with. I did see Citizen Kane for the first time, I think at the beginning of the year. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was that great. People talk about it like it's the greatest film ever made. I know it was.
I mean, I want it to be ideally something I haven't seen, and I want it to be something that I don't know the story of, ideally.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is one of the greatest films ever made. And that is because, in so many ways, it is because of Nurse Ratched, which may be, I don't know if you could say that it's the greatest antagonist, villain that a film has ever had, but that is the type of film, when you think about the human condition and how we treat people, that is without question. I mean, Louise Fletcher, that's a role of a lifetime. And Nicholson played off her fantastic. That movie,
you mean Versace?
Showgirls.
My Versace dress. Oh my God, that's funny.
They Live was great. They Live is that, have you seen, you haven't seen They Live, have you? You haven't seen it?
No, but it's a scary movie, right?
No, I mean, no, I wouldn't call it a scary movie. It's John Carpenter.
You a fan?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate. Yeah, we could. I know
Okay.
somebody.
The problem with us reviewing Roadhouse is that I have seen that movie. I can't, honestly, I don't think I could count the amount of times I've seen that movie, because it's always at different sections in the movie. But like, I used to fuck guys like you in prison is one of the greatest lines ever. So for us to review Roadhouse would be a waste of time, because Peter and I have very, very often reviewed Roadhouse. It's one of,
Roadhouse.
And also another one also. And fuck John Cusack for not liking that movie.
Yeah.
And now I can't watch Pulp Fiction because Tarantino is a fucking Zio pederass.
He's probably Zed. Just a thought. Maybe he is Zed. Like that's his kink. That's what he does.
We're gonna have to find a politically correct movie that we can all agree on is basically what's gonna happen.
I have not seen Red Dawn.
Now
I would see it.
He's talking Rowdy Roddy Piper. I don't know what movie you're referencing, but I'm a fan of Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Okay, we're watching They Live. That's the film.
But it's scary, right?
It's not. Shut up. You're like a 2-year-old.
I don't
They
like
Live.
to be scared.
Can somebody explain to Jen that They Live is
it's dead, baby.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. And he is actually dead.
And I agree, Reservoir Dogs is better, but also still, I am done with. I can't watch Tarantino movies any more than I can anymore watch Woody Allen movies, even though I know they're good movies. It just gives me the ick.
Why do I got to be Mr. Pink? You know what this is? Sound of the world's tiniest violin playing. Let's agree on They Live, because there's a lot to like about that film. I've only seen it once.
I guess, as far as I'm concerned, we should pick up a new series and actually watch it and then be able to really review it.
We could.
There's this series on Netflix. Do you get Netflix?
No. I could get.
Well, there's this series that looks really fun and that I want to start watching. So it looks like something that might be fun.
Yes.
And I just finished the second season of Beef.
Elquitz is right. Elquitz is right. They Live is a thriller. That's what I would call it. It's not a horror movie. Now, I would definitely agree with Johanna that They Live is as scary as real life. Yes. And there is
Well, that's the kind of shit that gives me the nightmares. Yes. Oh, for sure.
Well, that's
That was
Daniel
one of the
Day-Lewis.
yummiest things was Daniel Day-Lewis in Last of the Mohicans. I am so with you on that.
Can we agree on They Live?
Potentially, but we're so far away from having somebody to actually do this and edit it and put it together. And I don't want to necessarily offer up people's time.
We'll figure it out.
This guy is ending up not in our chat for long.
Okay, let's just conclude the show. One more time, if you guys are so inclined, please go to patreon.com/revolutionary change for as little as $5 a month. We really appreciate everybody's support here today, but we've got a few more super chatters to get to. Remember, guys, we are also on Instagram. We are on Rumble. We are also on X. A lot of people in X right now.
Your friend just got banned, and it was because he
I wish he would not have done that.
He told me to shut up.
So, people tell me to fuck off.
Yeah, and they get banned because we're not going to have that. You're not going to tell me to shut up on a channel that I host for fucking nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
Piano Man with the $10. We really appreciate you as always, my friend. Yeah, we could do Airplane.
I don't know that I could even sit through it. It's just ridiculous, but yeah.
Pirate Justin with the $2. How many Israeli PACs are there? Probably 3 dozen.
You know what? Actually, it's funny you say that. I just got a new book that just came out from, and we should have him on the show again. I believe we've had him on the show before. He just wrote a book called The Israel Lobby. Eli Clifton. Do you remember Eli Clifton? He has a new book that just came out that he wrote with another professor who I'd also like, Lusnick, I believe is his name. And it's called The Israel Lobby. Guys, look it up. I can't reach it from here, but it's called The Israel Lobby. And I bet you that is the most current reference, but there's a lot of them.
Bojangles with the $5. Tailgating for Lana now and embracing the pop quiz daytime stream. Yeah, no, this has been fun. And our friends over in the UK will probably appreciate us doing a show in the afternoon. That I'm sure.
I wonder why.
Some people just need to get laid. Smash that like button, share, subscribe, do all those things. Hold on, can't leave just yet. Enrique Jawa showed up. Appreciate you, pal. The movie to watch is Wrong is Right, 1982, based on a book by a former CIA guy. Legend has it, it was yanked from theaters after 7 days on orders from the government. See, that's the type of stuff we should cover. Wrong is right. And if that's right.
Are you speaking of me? Why am I wearing a keffiyeh? I'm wearing a keffiyeh because, well, the original keffiyeh, because a Palestinian woman gave it to us, thanking us for staying on that issue. I wear it because every Palestinian person that I've ever met has thanked me. And the people that are in Gaza that we've spoken to on our show are appreciative that we are in solidarity with them and that we do not forget what's going on to them. So that's why I wear a keffiyeh. And the fact that you think that that's ridiculous and that I'm an adult, I don't understand the different, like adults wear keffiyehs. So
Jen, I've asked you before, and I'll tell you again, you got to let the chat sometimes. I wanted to cover the super chat.
Oh, okay.
Ron, it's good to see you, pal. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Mr. Massey. Hope he doesn't get sucked in too deep with what they're trying to do right now. To be honest, I had to purchase John Carpenter to sign an autograph with a quote using Roddy Piper's bubblegum quote from They Live in my autograph book. That was a good choice. That was a good choice. You've come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and you're all out of bubblegum. So with that said, maybe we'll do a movie segment. We'll see.
This is the name of the book. Thank you. Israel's Lobby, America in the Grip of Foreign Power. Yeah, guys, I just got it. I'm going to read that. It's on my list. It's on my nightstand.
And one of your and by the way, one of your favorite people in the chat. Look what he said.
Chat's going to chat. I know.
Yeah. So
I know. I'm just not going to be told to shut up. And if somebody were to ask my boy, like one of my boys, what would happen if ever one of them told me it wasn't good? Like, that's not good. You don't do that.
We used to have a person in the chat. I'm not kidding. We used to have a person in the chat, and this was when we were not, we had like a channel that didn't have much traction. But we would have a person in the chat that would talk about their bowel movements, that would talk about their farting. Like,
exactly.
People want attention.
I don't have goats, Teresa. I have chickens, but that's okay.
Perfect note to
I
end
know.
on.
It is.
Smash that like button, share, subscribe, do all those things we ask you to do. We
Free
love you all.
Palestine, guys.
We appreciate you all. Jen
Free
really has
Palestine.
been trying to annoy the shit out of me.
No, I
today,
just
but
don't like acting like I said it I don't like it. I don't like sort of like, it's sort of like acting on command. It's just kind of weird.
It's not,
I don't like it anymore. I just don't. I feel like it's sort of acting on command. I'm happy to say Free Palestine all day, every day.
I'll see you guys on Saturday. Free
Bye, all.
Palestine.